In there.
Is everybody ready, What?
Yeah. As long as you.
Steve and Jack, are you ready? We sent you the link at the start of the year. It's always on that page.
You recording?
Check your email.
Tuesdays. Somebody's recording.
Tuesdays Brewer email.
Someone's recording.
Okay. It's always in there. All right. Bookmark it on your computer. If you could.
I can't hear Steve.
He's not talking.
Okay, we're turning this microphone on here. We good? All right, we'll get our first player in here.
Can you hear him?
You want to do the slides or not?
Well, did you make everyone ability to record, or you don't know how to do
I'm
that?
getting there.
You go ahead. Do it.
All right, Chris.
All right, Zach Van Valkenburg, thank you for joining us. If you have a question for Zach, please raise your hand in the participant window and we will get things started. Any questions for Zach?
Not till we record.
Give me 1 second, Zach. Thank you. Okay, everyone in the press box should have recording abilities. If not, please send me a message and we will get that taken care of. We'll get started. Zach, thanks for your patience. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. First question will be from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Zach, I guess what kind of problems did they cause in the running game that really seemed to allow them to extend drives?
I think we did a good job of hustling to the football. I think we did a good job playing with a lot of effort. Obviously, we just came up a little short. We just got to be a lot more physical next week.
How difficult was it to go against Bowser? Because I know a couple of years ago before you got here, he was really good. And what was he able to do that kind of pushed the pile forward a bit?
All props to him. He's a fast back. He runs hard. I think he's just a good running back. We need to do a lot better job against that.
Question from Darren Miller.
Zach, can you talk about Davion's presence today and what he meant on that defensive front?
Yeah, Davion's a great player. We really rely on him to make a lot of plays. Obviously, it's a group effort, but he's a great player, and he really brings the group together.
Next question from Jeff Johnson.
Yeah, Zach, how do you go about kind of flushing this one again in a similar situation where you had a lead and have given it up? How do you guys go forward from here?
I think we need to be really objective looking at the tape. I think we showed a lot of good effort. There's a lot of good things along with the bad. As long as we move forward, we improve this week, we'll have a chance of being a lot better next week. And that's our only focus.
Any other questions for Zach? Okay, Zach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Is that Seth Benson at the mic? Seth, thanks for joining us this afternoon. If you have questions for linebacker Seth Benson, please raise your hand in the participant window and we will get started. First question from Scott Docterman.
Seth, what was the difficulties that they seemed to present, especially in that second quarter when they had a couple of drives of 16 and 14 plays, and how were you able to slow them down in the second half?
Yeah, they run the ball. They're a good running team. That was our goal, stop the run. Obviously, we didn't do that good enough in the second quarter. We got to be tighter in our fits. We got to be better in communication, and that starts with me. But second half, we just corrected our fits. We knew where we needed to be, and we're tighter in our coverages, and that seemed to help stop the run a little better.
What did it mean to you to get your first start?
It was. I appreciate it. A lot of hard work, but ultimately we didn't win, and that's the goal.
What about Davion Nixon? What was his presence like on the field?
Davion, he's a good player. He brings energy each and every day, every practice, every game. He sparks fire in us, and when he gets back there in the backfield, it really helps us out. When he's playing blocks, he keeps the offensive linemen off of us. He allows us to be able to make plays, and like I said, he just brings great energy every day.
Take the next question from Jon Schaeffer.
What's the emotion like in this game when it goes back and forth the way it did with turnovers there, especially in the second half for you guys as a defense?
Yeah, I mean, when something like that happens, we got to go out there, put out the fire. We got to do our job, and we need to be better with that. We need to put out the fire, get the ball back to our offense.
Any other questions for linebacker Seth Benson? Okay, if not, Seth, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, guys.
Good evening, Davion Nixon. Thank you for joining us. If you have a question for defensive tackle Davion Nixon, please raise your hand in the participant window at the bottom of your screen, and we will get started. First question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Davion, it's sometimes tough to ask questions about how you played when you lost, but in your case, I think you had 10 or 11 tackles, several for loss. Overall, how did you feel like you played? Because it seemed to be maybe a breakout performance for you.
It wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. If we don't get the win, I never feel like I did enough from the defensive standpoint.
Did it seem like, were they trying to double team you at times? Because no matter what they were trying to do to you up front, you were able to get free.
I did get a double team a lot this game. It's something I'm used to now. Growing up with my stature and my size, I've always getting double teamed. I've had it where high school where teams will watch film and change the whole game plan because of me. So, I still just got to be productive as much as possible.
Next question from Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Davion, did this game feel quite a bit like last week to you in terms of just not being able to protect that lead?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing after 2 weeks. We got to finish. And Iowa is a big team on finishing, and we just haven't been able to do that for the last 2 weeks. So we just got to get back to being Iowa and playing Iowa football and finishing every game out strong.
Next question from Tom Kakert.
Davion, I saw you down there trying to fire up your teammates going into that last drive. What were you saying to them down on the sidelines?
That's exactly what I'm telling us. We just got to finish. It's a family thing. And if we all come out there together, stay even on the sideline, we got to stay together as a unit and stay together as a team. And we just got to finish. I need everybody participating. I need everybody hyped up. I need all the juice from the sidelines, fans, anybody that's out there. We came out here for a reason, and that's just to get the job done. So if we out there, you got to be out there in the moment, and you got to love it. And that's what I need. I need everybody on the team. We got to be able to finish. That's exactly what I was telling them. We got to finish.
Next question from Mike Halas.
Your defensive stats over 4 quarters look good, but the second quarter was something else. How do you account for those 2 long drives and how Northwestern ran the ball the way they did?
We just got to be more efficient at the fundamentals, and we just got to finish out plays, and we just got to stay in. And our defensive line coach likes to tell us we have to strain through every block we have to fight, and that's what we got to do. That second quarter was literally on the defensive line and on the linebackers and on the defense. If we shut them out in the second quarter like they did us in the fourth quarter, we would win.
Next question from Don Doxsie.
Yeah, Davian, as somebody who's played a lot of games in this stadium with a lot of fans and a lot of noise, what was it like to play without all of that? And do you think that had any impact on the game?
Personally, it's just like high school. In high school, you don't get that many fans coming out to all your games. So you just got to go out there, and you got to love the game of football to go out there with the energy that I have. When I love the game of football, I play every single day, But other than that, I could just say that it's not a difference for me whether there's fans in the stands, no fans at all. I'm going to go out there and give it all for my teammates. The same guys that put in the energy and effort for me throughout the week is the same guys that go out there and play for.
Next question from Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Davion, you guys made a little bit of history before the game when some of your teammates kneeled for the national anthem. I guess, what did that mean to you to be able to do that as a Black athlete?
I feel like that's just our coaches and our coaching staff and everybody at Iowa believing in our team and believing that everybody's life is equal. And, having the right to be able to go out there and express ourselves without any fallback or any punishment like that, that just shows the growth within our state, within our team, and within this family that we call a team.
Question from Scott Ackerman.
Yeah, much on the edge, because I know you guys mixed around some things with Raider today. Have you worked much off the edge?
That's really game plan type of thing. So right now, we're just trying to get better at stopping the run. I don't even focus on working off the edge for pass rush right now.
Anything else for Davion? Okay, Davion, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you guys for having me.
Our next Hawkeye student athlete will be Spencer Petrus. Hello, Spencer. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you have questions for Spencer, please raise your hand in the participant window at the bottom of your screen, and we can get started. First question from Jon Schaeffer.
Spencer, how frustrating was that second half of football for you, not being able to put up any points there?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. But, credit to Northwestern. They had a really, really solid half, and they played well. So, it's part of football, man. It's just, very competitive, and wish we could have done more, but credit to Northwestern.
Next question from Scott Dockerman.
When you look at these first 2 games, what comes to your mind on ways that maybe you can improve? And I'm not talking through the film or whatever, but is it touch on some of the passes? Is it forcing it to certain players? How do you assess yourself right now?
Yeah, I think the big theme, after last week was making sure that I go through my progression and not force anything. Have to wait to see the tape, obviously, but, thought I did a better job of that today. I just think the theme is just for all of us, on offense and the whole team is just we're really close. It's just better execution. And we're back to the drawing board this week, but we're close. These games are game of inches. Obviously, it's just very, very competitive, very close. Yeah.
Next question from Jeff Johnson.
Yeah, Spencer, you guys ran the football very effectively last week, and not not so much today, and you seem to, I don't want to say give up on the run late, but what did you see there? Why was the run game maybe not as effective and today?
I mean, that's Northwestern for you. They play, when they're playing cover 4, their safeties are in the fit. They're coming down hard, trying to stop the run, and they have a lot of good run stopping pressures that they bring. That's kind of their MO. They want to force you to take what's there and play sound football for 60 minutes. And they played well. It worked today.
Next question from Tom Kakert.
Spencer, what kind of adjustments did they make defensively that took away some of the things that were effective for you early in the game? What did you see there?
Yeah, I think the best thing they did was just, they mixed up. They disguised things really well. They started rolling down onto Amir to try and take him away. They played a lot of those 2-minute drives. They play a lot of like eight-man coverages where basically they're forcing you to earn it all the way down the field. And we were successful here and there, but obviously not enough to get the win. So
next question, Mike O'Brien.
So going back to that first touchdown with Brandon, when you throw that up a 50-50 ball single coverage, when you got a guy like Brandon, what's going on in your head after you release that ball, knowing the receiver you're throwing to, and how valuable is he to have there?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's an incredible player. You've seen it throughout his career here. I've been here 3 years with him, and anytime he has a chance, he's probably going to come down with it, almost definitely. He made a great play on that. That's the kind of guy he is. He's extremely competitive, aggressive, and when the ball's in the air, he goes and gets it.
Question, Mark Freund.
Hey, Spencer, I thought Northwestern looked pretty comfortable on defense in the second half, but through 2 games, you're sitting at 3 points in the second half, I think. What do you guys need to do to kind of spark that offensive effort in the second half and in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think it's just execution all across the board. I think the common theme is just that, like you said, like we start really well and just sustaining it, and that comes down to us being more detailed, better preparation. Everything just need to be better. But we're close. We're really close. Just got to keep pushing. We'll look forward to doing that this week.
Next question from Grant Becker.
Yeah, Spencer, kind of piggybacking off of that. I mean, 3 points in the second half in 2 weeks. Is it just kind of a coincidence that that's happening in the second half? Or is it, do things just tighten up and things have been tough in the second half? How can you, what's going on there?
I mean, credit to Northwestern today. They played really well. They're it's Big Ten football. They're a really good team. And, defensively, they got us. So.
Next question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, on the interception early in the fourth quarter, it bounced off Sam's hands. What was going on that play? And did you feel like you threw the ball too hard?
No, I mean, I don't. I think I put it just a little too far out in front of him. Again, I'll have to see it on tape. But yeah, I mean, it's just game of inches. It's close. It was just a little too far out in front.
Did you? What kind of adjustments did Northwestern make, or did they make any in the second half that were visible?
Yeah, they came out and started pressuring us early to try and stop the run, and then really try to take away some of the things that we were doing in the pass game. They just played well. They played really well. They're a disciplined team, really well coached. Their defensive coordinator is really smart. So they had a really good game plan.
Any other questions for Spencer? If not, thank you very much, Spencer, for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Next Hawkeye student athlete we expect is Amir Smith-Marset. He will be the final Hawkeye student athlete before we get on to head coach Kirk Ferentz. Good evening, Amir. Thank you for joining us. If you have questions for Amir Smith-Marset, please raise your hand in the participant window at the bottom of your screen and we will get started. First question from Mr. Smegaza.
Amir, before the game started, we saw some of you and your teammates taking a knee kind of in solidarity. I mean, what is that? How did that moment kind of come about? And, how did you guys, kind of discuss to get to that point?
It was something, we all talked about as a team, a leadership group with, Coach Ferentz. Something that, we thought, would be valuable. It's nothing against the flag. We just wanted to, show our fight against, the systematic, the injustice system and, the tough times, colored people face, during this day and age. So it's just something we've been talking about, and then we went out there and did it. But it's something, as a team, we decided to do, with everybody kneeling. So, they brother, had they showed hand on their shoulder. It's just something we talked about, and something we went out there and did, show, that we for the fight.
Next question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, what happened in the second half? Because it just seemed like you guys were able to really do what you wanted to do, especially in the first quarter offensively. But in the second half, Northwestern seemed to tighten things up.
All I can say is that, they tightened things up. We went out there. It was just a tough second half. They fixed what they had to fix and, battled through the rest of the game.
Next question from Chad Leistico.
Hey, Amir, what did you think you could do well coming into the game, and why weren't you able to do those things if you couldn't?
So you're talking about personally or as a team?
I'm sorry, as an offense. Thank you.
Felt like, we could do anything, any given, Saturday. So, I mean, pretty much that. I really don't know how to answer it, to tell you the truth. Just then, go out there and, finish out the game. We started hot, and we just, didn't have a way to finish it out. Once we start finishing, these tough, close games out, then, we're working with something.
Next question from Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Amir, did this game kind of feel like last week in terms of the way it played out? And if so, what can you do as a senior to help get this thing turned around for your team?
As a senior, just, continue to lead, pick people's heads up, if they down, can continue to, push people, come in, put in their best work, best effort. And then, go out there on Saturday and, continue to, put my best foot forward and contribute, as much as I can, and then, so it start early in the week, Monday, going out there, just leading the guys. And then, taking an honest, evaluation at yourself in this film room starting tomorrow, and then going out there Monday and progressing through the week, with your head held high, pushing through, these tough last 2 weeks.
Next question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Amir, I mean, I know in the offseason you and Spencer worked together a lot, and he did with a lot of the receivers. What's kind of your thoughts on the last couple of weeks, and how do you help him keep his head up after this?
Just keep pushing forward. Everybody got, those down and out games. But, he's been the starter, for 2 games now. So, it's going to come. He's going to, get way more comfortable. He's going to have, top of the line games. He's going to have, games where like this one where, the ball just don't go his way. You get what I'm saying? So it's tough right now, but as he gets more comfortable, within the offense, same center, receivers, just going out there and, going out there executing, he's going to get way more comfortable and the game going to come to him.
Next question from Chad Leistico.
Hey, Amir, on the offense as a whole, what would you say your identity is as a team?
A lot of potential. We just got to, add production to it, pretty much. That's all I, would say. A lot of potential, just add production to it.
We have time for 2 more. We'll start with Tom Kakert.
Hey, Amir. Wanted to ask you about Spencer has kind of said that you guys are really close to being good and getting the offense going. Do you feel the same way, and what has to happen?
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel like, we right there. Just, picking up, fixing the small things and, just seeing what we did right in the first half tonight and carry that on through. Don't take out bad habits from the second half and, do that type of stuff, moving forward. Take out first habits from our habits from the first half and go out there, each and every week, just do those things, execute at a high level and go out there and, take advantage of every opportunity.
Last question from Amir. For Amir will be from Don Doxsie.
Hey, Amir, as somebody who I know kind of feeds off the crowd sometimes.
I can't understand you. I can't understand you.
Okay.
Sorry, Don, can you give it a second try here?
Amir, as somebody who kind of feeds off the crowd sometimes, I mean, did this game just kind of have a weird feel without much of a crowd or anything out there?
I would say a little weird feeling, but that doesn't really matter. We got to go out there and play, the game. Fans help, they help a lot, with their energy, but we don't have that right now. So, we got to play off our own energy. We got to go out there and execute at a high level, knowing it's just us out there and, the little amount of, fans that we do have. So just, go out there, play our game and not really focus on the fans right now. It's tough. It's difficult, but it's just something we got to get through. We can't change it. Nothing we could do about it. So we just got to, push past that.
Okay, Amir, thank you very much for your time this evening. I believe we have head coach Kirk Ferentz on deck.
Do it while you finish up, or you want to take it?
If you can hustle.
So I'll start out congratulate Northwestern on the victory. They certainly played hard and played a better second half than we did, and that's really was the story of the game. I thought our guys came ready to go. We got off to a fast start, did a lot of good things in the first half. And then, the second half was a whole different story. So you got to play the full 60 minutes. And at the end of the game, really all the critical areas run the football, third down conversions, and the turnover rate. Obviously, those things are going to be important to deciding any football game. And, we did a good job of that in the first half, not so much in the second half. So, they finished the game and we weren't able to. So it's kind of where it's at right now. And got a short week, or not a short week, but an unusual week, a disrupted week coming up. So it's the first time for us, as every team faces. But anyway, it'll pose some unique challenges. And, we're going to have to be sure that we really handle that well, because we certainly have a lot of improvement to make, and that's got to be our focus. But we're going to have to handle the week on top of it. So I'll throw it out for questions.
If you have a question for Coach Ferentz, please raise your hand. We'll start with Jon Schaeffer.
Kirk, from your perspective, what caused you guys to go stagnant in the second half?
Well, it's never easy to say what caused anything. But, an obvious thing is we had a couple picks. Our first 5 possessions. I'm looking down here. It's our first 5 possessions. 2 of them were picks. So, it's not a good thing. And, we just didn't run the ball effectively and didn't throw it effectively enough either.
Steve Batterson.
Second quarter defensively, Northwestern was able to move the ball fairly well on the ground. What were the issues that you saw at that point?
Yeah, I think 2 things in the first half. The quarterback runs really affected us. When he was back there and saw an opening, Ramsey did a really good job at taking those openings. That was hurtful, a couple of those. And then, in the second quarter, especially, I just thought we started catching blocks, and they were blocking us. So, and their backs run hard. We knew that going in. So that was disappointing. Certainly, that little, almost like there's a little bit of a lull there. And they did a good job taking advantage of that.
Chad?
Yeah, Kirk, 51 passing attempts and 23 rushing attempts in a game you led 17-0. Is that a balance that you think it was a little bit off today?
I think, if you look historically, if you look at those kind of numbers, it means, the outcome wasn't good. So, yeah, we didn't run the ball effectively enough today. Certainly we had a couple good runs, hit a couple on them, but, with consistency, not enough. So that's something we're going to have to get addressed because we don't want to play that way. I'll go on record saying that. We don't want to play that way. Looking for a lot more balance in that.
Scott?
Struggled really after the first. Okay, I don't know if I was unmuted there.
Go ahead.
He struggled after the first quarter. Spencer did. What do you think of his performance overall, and in what ways can he get better?
I thought our first half really wasn't bad, other than the 3 and out. We started with the 3 and out, but we drove the ball in that quarter, or excuse me, the whole first half, and then I think two things in the first half. We ended up a ball inside the 5, end up with a field goal instead of a touchdown. That certainly turned out to be a big thing. And then Caleb made a great effort there at the end of the half to give us a chance on that one. And that one kick is probably representative of our game today. Close but not close enough. But that was a good drive too. I mean, we drove the ball and drove it pretty successfully. So I think it really was a contrast in the two halves. Throw a couple picks in there, and that makes a difference too. Tip balls, those kinds of things. That's never good. But the bottom line is we didn't have much consistency in that second half offensively.
Mike?
Statistics, I know they can be kind of warped, but in the last 5 Big Ten games you've had, you haven't scored a touchdown in the second half. And I realize you did win 3 of those, but does that say something?
Well, yeah, you just kind of said it. The most important stat is winning. So as long as we're winning, we'll live with that. But to that point, they outplayed us in the second half today. Clearly did, and again, a lot of that, if we turn the ball over a couple times, I'll drop that last one, but the 2 times prior to that's not a good thing. And, it was a team loss. We didn't, really do anything well enough consistently today to expect to win in a Big Ten game. And that's 2 weeks in a row. So those are the things we're going to have to focus on. One thing we did pretty well, I thought Torrey really punted the ball well. He gave us a chance certainly to be successful. And our place kickers did a good job, but, we have to do a better job there. We just have to be more consistent. That was a team thing in that second half, not just the offense.
Tom?
Kirk, Davion said, talked about Iowa football is about finishing football, about finishing games. How do you get that going? And also, Coy Cronk got taken out. Was that injury related or performance related?
He just didn't look quite comfortable enough. So we'll go back to work Monday. He's missed a lot of time, as I said in the past, and he's still working through some things. But Coy's a tremendous guy. He's going to be a good player for us. But I thought he was struggling a little bit. And then finishing plays, and it's like anything. It's a day-by-day process. And it's a matter of stacking things up and finding ways to get the job done. We did get a spark with Jack's interception. Thought that hopefully was going to get us going a little bit, but we weren't able to really capitalize on it. And just all the good things we did in the first half, we weren't able to do in the second half. So it's a matter of playing that full 60. And every situation's a little bit different, but it really gets back to just trying to practice a little bit better, meet a little bit better, and hopefully that carries over to the game field. There's no magic formula for it.
Jon?
Is it frustrating when you can't capitalize on those momentum swings that you create, especially when you don't have fans necessarily to feed off of energy-wise?
Yeah, that part we knew coming in, and we've practiced in Kinnick, so at least we've had practice that way. But it's going to be that way all season long, so you just have to play through that. But it is frustrating because, like Jack's play, that should be a spark play. Give us a chance maybe to get something going. But that's part of the process too, and we're just not quite there yet. That's really evident the last 2 weeks. We just need to get over the hump a little bit, just like teams need to learn how to win. And we're probably in that situation right now too. We've lost 2 close games. So, what do you have to do to push it forward to get the job done? And, as you guys have all witnessed already in 2 weeks, it's a week-to-week thing. There's no way to predict what's going to happen next week based on this week. So, we need to focus on us, our performance, our preparation, and see if we can't do a better job next time we get an opportunity to play.
Okay, we'll take 3 more questions for Coach. We'll start with Scooby.
Coach, before the game started, we saw players on the sideline taking a knee. We've talked to you about this in the past before, and you said if you were going to make a decision as a team, it would be one decision where everyone would come together. How did you guys kind of come to this decision over here with some guys kneeling, some guys standing with their hand on their shoulder?
Well, quite frankly, I'll give you the same answer I gave a week ago Tuesday. And what you referenced was about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So basically, I think a lot of things have changed this past year, probably in our whole country. As it pertains to us, we've had, as of last Tuesday, three very direct conversations about the topic. And, the point that I came to is that, what the team decided, and basically, let me be very specific, our leadership group, not our team, but our leadership group. We had great conversation, thoughtful dialogue, and, shared a letter with a veteran who saw it one way. And then also our entire team was on a Zoom call with a 20-year SEAL who also had a couple, I think it was, I don't know how many, two administrations in the White House. And he had a very different opinion. So long story short, I think the conversation was great. And what we all decided was we're going to respect each other's opinions on the topic. And to me, that is doing things as a team. The dialogue was outstanding. The key point was, everybody said what they felt, but everybody also agreed that we're going to have a respect for each other's opinions. And that's, really quite something, something our country's badly in need of right now. Just a little bit more listening and a little bit more civil conversation. So I couldn't be more proud of our leadership group. Not only those meetings, but the other meetings we've had, they've been tremendous. And I think that's what you saw today. I think we're all on the same page there. And I don't know what else you could ask for as a coach that way.
Scott?
Yeah, the last couple of games, I guess going back to the bowl game, you guys have used a lot of lateral movement, which seems to have helped, not only with the jet sweeps, but also just with the some of the helping your offense move the ball a little bit. I mean, there wasn't any today, very little motion. What was the reasoning just based on their defense, and that was what you felt was a good conclusion not to do that this week?
Yeah, that's really a big part of it, Scott. In the bowl game, we saw enough. We had time to look at a lot of film and had a lot of film. So that was something that became apparent they were struggling with during the season. We didn't know if they'd get it fixed by then, but it gave us some help. Conversely, we didn't see any evidence where that might be something to really help us today. So we'll look at it tomorrow in retrospect and see if maybe that's something we need to do more of or could do more of against this particular team. But they've got a distinct personality, and the plays we called today, the plays we ran, are ones that we thought might have a chance to have success. But in the second half, we just didn't have enough there to be successful.
Last question, Tom.
Kirk, 2 games in, it would be perfectly natural for Spencer to maybe start pressing a little bit. Do you feel like that's happening? And how do you guard against that where maybe he's trying to do too much?
That's something I worry about with a lot of players. Anybody plays quarterback, that's certainly something. And then I worry about that with some of our veteran guys. So, the best thing anybody can do, offensively or defensively, special teams, is just do what they're supposed to do. And then if they do that with a little bit of extra, that's always good too. But certainly I think we could be careful. And the bottom line is, Spencer's a two game quarterback right now, so he's a very young guy. This was not a fun experience, certainly. A great experience for him in that second half, but he'll grow from this because he's so conscientious and he works well. And he'll be better for it. But boy, it's hard in the process. We all know that, and it's just it's part of the game sometimes. So he'll get back up on his feet. We'll go back to work tomorrow, and I'm confident he'll be a better player moving forward. But that's certainly something we always worry about.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Just a reminder, everybody, that player interviews this week are moving to Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Please send in your player requests to Steve by tomorrow, same as usual on that. But players will be Wednesday at 11. Kirk will be on Tuesday, normal time for Coach Ferentz, Tuesday at 1:45. Players are moving to Wednesday at 11.